You don't cry. You vanish. You stop calling. You stop waiting. You start living. You post your glow, your smile, your life moving on. And then it hits him. The quiet. The loss. He checks his phone. Nothing. No message from you. No good morning. No care. That absence eats at him. Makes him wonder. Makes him regret. Because no attention, no presence is the loudest punishment of all. It happens at work too. You give ideas, solutions, extra effort. They ignore it. They pass you over. One day, you stop. You work only your part. No more saving projects. No more staying late. Silence. Suddenly the team struggles, the cracks appear, the problems you used to solve are now visible, and they miss you. Not because you begged for respect, but because your absence revealed your true worth. Look at social circles. The one who always planned the meetups, the one who remembered birthdays, the one who cared. When that person withdraws, no parties happen, no celebrations feel the same. Everyone notices the missing piece. Because when you make people used to your warmth, your support, your light, your absence becomes a cold shadow they cannot escape. Even in family, you are always there, helping, listening, sacrificing, and they ignore you, laugh at your dreams, doubt your value, until you stop explaining, stop showing up, stop giving, and they feel the hole you left behind, the missing piece, the broken rhythm. They realize too late, your presence was the glue that held everything together. Absence makes your value louder. It sharpens your worth like a blade. When you were gone, they see what they never appreciated when you were there. Like a favorite song suddenly silenced. Like the sun hidden behind clouds. People always wake up when the light goes missing. Think of that girl in school who always helped others cheat. Shared notes, gave answers, they laughed at her, ignored her kindness. One day, she stopped. No more notes, no more help. And suddenly tests felt harder, assignments longer. They missed her not because they cared, but because her absence revealed how much they depended on her. Even God uses absence to teach. Sometimes He delays answers, hides blessings, stays silent, so you value the miracle when it comes. So you appreciate the sunrise after the longest night. Because absence isn't punishment, it's preparation. When you remove your energy, your love, your kindness, the world feels a space you filled. They replay memories. They regret words. They miss moments. Your absence haunts more than your presence ever could. Because a quiet exit leaves the loudest echo. There is a huge difference between telling your story and setting your standards. Weak people love to explain. They write long texts when someone disrespects them. They post sad quotes when someone ghosts them. They make stories, hoping the world will understand their pain. But strong women, queens, set standards, not stories. They don't waste energy explaining what they deserve. They show it silently, loudly, without a single word. Because when your standards are clear, you don't need to beg anyone to treat you right. They will either rise to meet you or leave. Imagine this. A woman dates a man who calls only when he feels like it, who cancels plans, who makes her feel like an option. Most girls would text, "Why are you acting this way? Why don't you care?" But not her. She sets a standard. She stops answering late night calls. She doesn't reply to disrespect. She blocks his access, not out of hate, but out of class. She doesn't explain. She doesn't plead. And he feels the shift. Suddenly he realizes, this woman doesn't tolerate being treated like a second choice. Her standard is silence, not drama. Her value is declared in her actions, not her words. Look at the office. A man who works hard, stays late, saves the team, but his boss never notices. One day he stops giving extra for free. He leaves on time. He demands fair pay, fair credit, fair respect. And when the boss asks why he's changed, he says nothing. His standard has changed, not his story. No explanation, no long emotional conversation. His quiet power forces them to notice, to think, to correct. Because when you set your value high, the world adjusts or walks away. Think of friendships. The girl who always planned, always forgave, always bent to keep the group happy. Until one day she didn't. She stopped answering last-minute plans. She said no to the friend who only called when lonely. She raised the bar. No fights, no tears, no Facebook posts about fake friends, just standards. And suddenly, the group realized they couldn't treat her the same. They couldn't disrespect and expect her smile. Because her silence shouted a new rule. If you want me, value me. A standard so high, no story was needed. Even in family. Sometimes your own people belittle your dreams. Why are you doing this? It won't work. Instead of fighting back with words, you set standards. You succeed. You grow. You build the life they doubted. Without lectures, without explanations, your results become your reply. Your peace becomes your proof. They watch in quiet awe as you rise, because you set the standard, not the story. Social media loves stories, sad reels, heartbreak quotes, pity posts. But the truly powerful woman, the queen, posts her life, her glow up, her wins. She doesn't post the breakup text. She posts the new business she launched. She doesn't post betrayal. She posts her progress. And those who hurt her see it, feel it. Because she has raised her standards so high, the story writes itself. No caption needed, even in faith. When life is unfair, when prayers seem unanswered, you can complain, or you can trust. Believe. Move forward in quiet strength. Your faith becomes your standard. Your peace becomes your message. The world watches you not collapse, not cry, but walk with grace. And they wonder, how does she stay strong when everything falls? Because your standard is faith, not fear. Power, not panic. Remember that girl in college who was laughed at because she dreamed of starting her own brand? She didn't argue. She didn't fight. She worked, she saved, she created, and one day her name was on a billboard. Her brand in stores. And the ones who doubted her read the story written by her success, not her words. Her standard was unstoppable. No story could compete. When you set your standards high, people rise or disappear. When you explain too much, they lose respect. Set the bar, let them climb, or watch them leave. But never lower your standard to fit someone's comfort. Because when you raise your standard, your life becomes the story. A story that needs no words, only proof, only power, only presence. There is something dangerously attractive about mystery, something magnetic about the unknown. When you reveal everything too soon, your thoughts, your feelings, your fears, you kill the curiosity. You remove the spark. The excitement fades because you gave it all away without being asked. But when you stay a mystery, When you keep pieces of yourself hidden, you make people crave more, wonder more, chase more, because what's rare is valuable. What's unclear is unforgettable. And what's hard to get becomes impossible to ignore. A clinger is easy to read, easy to forget. But a mystery, she stays in their mind like an unfinished song. Think about that woman who always replies instantly to every text, who double messages when she gets no reply, who asks, "Why are you ignoring me?" Do you know what happens? Her value drops. She becomes predictable, expected, easy. But then think of the woman who waits, who doesn't rush to reply, who leaves a little space, a little quiet, a little wonder. She makes them check their phone, check again, wonder what she's doing, who she's with, why she hasn't answered. The mystery burns in their mind. Her absence becomes an addiction, because the less you reveal, the more they want to know. Look at relationships. The girl who shares every secret on the first date, who tells her whole life story before trust is earned, she becomes ordinary. How? But the one who reveals layer by layer, who keeps her emotions guarded until they are deserved, that woman is unforgettable. Because men chase what they cannot easily understand. The mystery makes him curious. The silence makes him wonder, what is she thinking? What is she feeling? And that curiosity pulls him deeper. Not because she begged, not because she clung, but because she remained rare even in friendships. The friend who always needs reassurance, who always asks, "Are we okay?" People tire of that. But the friend who is there when she wants to be, who doesn't chase, who can enjoy her own company, she becomes the one everyone wants to be around. Because she gives energy, not drains it. Because she is full on her own. And that fullness is magnetic. You cannot miss what clings to you, but you always miss what slips from your fingers. At work, the person who stays silent in meetings, who doesn't always share their best idea immediately, gets noticed. People wonder what they are thinking. They respect their quiet confidence. They wait for their words because their words are rare, not wasted, not desperate. Mystery in work is power. When you speak less, your voice carries more weight. When you don't rush to show your worth grows in the eyes of others. Even in family, the daughter who explains every decision, every dream, every plan, gets doubted, questioned, controlled. But the one who moves quietly, plans silently, surprises her family with success, they respect her. They stand in shock when she wins. Because they never saw her struggle, only her rise. Mystery builds awe. Clinging builds irritation. Social media is the biggest trap. Oversharing every moment, every mood, every thought, it kills the mystery. But the girl who posts wisely, rarely, with purpose, her life becomes a question. People stalk her stories, wait for her posts, wonder what she's up to. They watch because she's not easy to figure out, and that makes her powerful. Because in a world that shows everything, she shows nothing. And that silence is loud, even with dreams. When you tell everyone your plan, they laugh, they doubt, they discourage. But when you keep quiet, work hard, and reveal only the result, the world can only admire. They can't stop what they don't see coming. You become the mystery that surprises them all. Like that girl who said nothing about her singing, but one day went viral with a hit song. Her silence made her explosion twice as powerful. Mystery makes the heart race, the mind spin, the soul burn. Because what you cannot have, you crave. What you cannot understand, you chase. And what you cannot predict, you remember. A clinger is forgotten the moment she turns away, but a mystery stays, forever echoing in the corners of the mind, long after she is gone. And now listen carefully, because this is the part most people ignore, but the ones who master this, they become unforgettable. You see, in life, silence is not weakness, it is a weapon. Absence is not emptiness, it is power. And mystery is not confusion, it is control. You were not born to explain your worth to anyone. You were not created to convince someone of your value. You are not here to beg for attention, for love, for respect. No queen ever lowered her crown to prove her royalty. The world adjusted to her presence or watched her walk away. You must understand this golden truth. People chase what they cannot fully have. They desire what they cannot fully touch. Diamonds are locked in vaults, not thrown on the streets. The rarest paintings hang behind glass, not nailed to every wall. Why? Because what is rare is respected. What is rare is desired. And you are rare, but only if you believe it. Only if you stop giving yourself away so cheaply. Only if you hold back the parts of you that deserve to be earned, not given. Remember, the ocean never shouts for attention, yet the world travels miles to see it. The stars never scream for notice, yet the entire sky watches in wonder every single night. You too must learn this art, to let your glow be seen without noise, to let your worth be felt without words. You do not have to tell them you are powerful, they will feel it in your silence. You do not have to explain that you are valuable, they will realize it when you stop showing up for less. Because the more you explain, the less they listen. The more you chase, the faster they run. But the more you stay in your lane, focused, unbothered, building, creating, glowing quietly, the more they wonder who you are becoming. The more they want to know you, the more they want to understand you. Curiosity is the most addictive drug in the world. Make them addicted to your silence. Do not fear the moments when no one claps for you, when no one texts, when no one calls. Those are the sacred seasons of building, the seasons of becoming. Great things grow in silence. Seeds break through the earth unseen. Storms gather their strength in stillness. A volcano sits silent for years before shaking the world in one explosion. Your silence is not empty, it is loading. Your absence is not loss, it is preparation. Let them feel your absence like air pulled from a room. Let them wonder why you are no longer available, why you no longer reply, why you are suddenly so quiet. Because when you pull back your energy, the ones who took it for granted will notice. And the ones meant to rise to your level, they will. But you will not beg, you will not explain, you will not shrink. Never forget, a lion does not turn when small dogs bark. A queen does not argue with fools in the street. A diamond does not fight to shine. It simply is. You do not owe anyone the story of your soul. You owe yourself the grace of patience, the strength of silence, the glory of mystery. The world may not understand now, but they will. They always do. When you rise, when you win, when your light finally bursts through, those who doubted you will watch in quiet shock. And those who loved you truly, they will say, she was working all along. She was building while we were sleeping. She was rising while we were laughing. This is your moment to stop chasing, to stop explaining, to stop proving, and to start becoming. Becoming that woman whose silence is louder than applause, whose absence is felt like thunder, whose quiet glow is more blinding than the brightest spotlight. Because in the end, they do not remember the one who begged for attention. They remember the one they couldn't figure out, the one they couldn't reach, the one who stood high, quiet, unshaken. That woman is you.